Hello, hello. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. I gotta let you know. Oh, Sarah Butt's here. Perfect. I'm so happy. Let me see. Can I go to my stream manager from here without it showing? Ooh. Oh, thank you for the follow, Cruddy Jet. 12 hours ago? 19 hours ago? Jesus, whoops. It's Monster Redeemed first. Hashy's favorite. He did it, ladies and gentlemen. My god. Unbelievable. How's it sound? Does it sound alright? Oh, thank you, Nikki. You're so nice. I'm going to be reading to you quietly. Hey, dude, going to do a little work and lurk. Oh, perfect. I'll be reading some spiritual stuff to you, Nikki and Stashtastic. Appreciate you guys being here. Thank you, 1,000 times. I'm just going to keep it on this scene so I can kind of see the stream manager at the same time. Cool, thanks. Yes. So I think we got to like I think we finished chapter 3 last time, or maybe chapter 2. I think we finished the death of his mother and the mystic amulet. Looking good in that beanie, fellow mustachioed amigo. Oh, thank you, Stashtastic. Every day I look at a picture that I took of you, and I'm like, how can I be like Stash? How can I be like Stash? So I've been letting it grow. I've been wearing beanies all the time. You get it, Shirley. Shirley, you understand. And don't call me Shirley. Hope you're doing well, though, guys. Let me put on some spiritual music in the background. And then let me lower everything else here. It will ensure you don't get any ladies. Stash is like, don't worry, man. I'm like, Stash is like, I do this for my own protection. He's like, my God, if I get rid of the beard and the beanie, it's awful. All these women start throwing themselves at me, and little animated birds come up out of the window and start singing songs to me. It's awful. I can only imagine. A damn dog. Of course, as soon as I start reading, my little pug wants to go outside and start being a menace to the entire world. Yeah, we're gonna start doing this on Sundays, uh, probably after I come back from church or whatever, and then we'll do like a couple hours of just reading a few chapters of Autobiography Yogi every Sunday because I want to, and I love this book, and everybody needs to learn about it. Storytime with Hash sounds good. Yay! There's a link if you guys want to follow along. Of a copy of the book. You can also look it up online. I'm sure that the first edition is like now public domain. So if you go to like projectgutenberg.com, you can probably follow along on there. Should be a link on there, which is like the most recent edition, which is the one I have from Self-Realization Temple, which is where I go to every Sunday. But there's a link there if you want to follow along, as well as if you go online. I'm sure you'll find the first edition. It's a classic. So where were we? Oh, perfect. So we had just learned about like what the Om means. Like, so a lot of people have this idea of the word Om is just like a mantra. Project Hash Bro. What up, Joker? I'm good to see you, man. I was lurking on you on Outward earlier. I think I might. I'm not sure if you're still streaming. I might have you up still. Good to see you. It's a little difficult for me to like shout people out and stuff. So please, everybody, just follow each other. It's Stash is amazing. Nikki's so great. Joke and Lime, really good streamers here. Check each other out. I'm gonna be reading to you guys. The last 2 chapters we read on were just pretty much I was at work. How are we doing today? Oh, okay, good. I'm doing well. The first chapter was on Paramahansa Yogananda's early life. His name was Mukunda Lal Ghosh. It was talking about his parents, his mother and father, growing up in Gorakhpur, explaining like their very Hindu spiritual lives. You know, they would meditate daily. The father wouldn't go to movies or anything like that. He would just spend his evenings after work meditating. Oh, bro, it's Sam. Thank you for the lurk, man. Appreciate you. Cheers indeed. Cheers indeed. Spend his hours meditating, his leisure hours, Kriya Yoga. They were initiates of a very powerful, wise, mystic, ancient man named Lahiri Mahashaya, and they were initiated into Kriya Yoga practice. The mother passed away, unfortunately, due to an illness that was kind of foretold to her when her son was being born, and she was given a mystical amulet, which was given to Mukunda when he was just a child after her death, and it was like hidden away from him. And this amulet is pretty much telling him to begin his spiritual life, to begin his spiritual pursuits, to leave behind the world of, you know, man and Volt and Vulgar, whatever the case is, and kind of pursue a more spiritual life. So, let me show you another good trick that I know, to quote Dr. Seuss. Grab your coffee, I have my little mango drink here, to kind of put me in the spiritual India world, as well as some chai coffee, and I have some lentil soup that I will be eating on break. Excellent. What a lovely day. What a gift. I'm so grateful. Chapter 3. The Saint with Two Bodies. Father, if I promise to return home without coercion, may I take a sightseeing trip to Benares? My keen love of travel was seldom hindered by Father. He permitted me, even as a mere boy, to visit many cities and pilgrimage spots. Usually one or more of my friends accompanied me. We would travel comfortably on first-class passes provided by Father. His position as a railroad official was fully satisfactory to the nomads in the family. Father promised to give my request due consideration. The next day he summoned me and held out a round-trip pass from Bareilly to Benares, a number of rupee notes, and 2 letters. I have a business matter to propose to a Benares friend, Kedar Nath Babu. Unfortunately, I have lost his address. But I believe you will be able to get this letter to him through our common friend, Swami Pranabananda. The Swami, my brother disciple, has attained an exalted spiritual stature. You will benefit by his company. The second note will serve as your introduction. Isn't this so interesting? Oh, Q, what up, man? Good to see you, man. Thank you so much for the biddies and the big emote. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, brother. It's so interesting. Like, it's so good right here in this gives you a glimpse into, like, this world that they're in, talking about the late 1800s, early 1900s of India. In order to meet somebody that they haven't talked to, you know, in several years, he had to, like, remember his address. He didn't have it anymore. Probably lost in his notes. So he's sending his son over there with 2 letters. Like, one is an introductory letter of telling him who he is, and the second is like the message he needs to send. This is how people sent messages, you know, like in the late 1800s. Like, could you imagine, like, saying goodbye to somebody? Like, okay, obviously saying goodbye to somebody now, it's like, oh, I'll just text you later if I want to, or whatever. Like, dude, saying goodbye to somebody here, it's like you might not ever see them again. It might be the very last time you see somebody. Like, imagine getting a guest back then. It must have been such a great, like, holy crap, like, no wonder we hate, like, we just hate people so much now. And, like, back then it must have been such a joy to be around others, you know, like, oh, it's so funny. I love this so much. Such a good glimpse into, like, how the world worked. So he's like, you will benefit by his company. This second note will serve as your introduction. Father's eyes twinkled as he added, mind, no more flights from home. He kept trying to leave to the Himalayas, you know, he wanted to start a spiritual life, and they had to keep getting him back from there. I set forth with the zest of my 12 years, though time has never dimmed my delight in new scenes and strange faces. Reaching Benares, I proceeded immediately to the Swami's residence. The front door was open. I made my way to a long, hall-like room on the second floor. A rather stout man, wearing only a loincloth, was seated in lotus posture on a slightly raised platform. His head and an unwrinkled face were clean-shaven. A beatific smile played about his lips. To dispel my thoughts that I had intruded, he greeted me as an old friend. He was like, I'm over here cooking, baby. I don't know what that means. Maybe that's why guests are praised so much in the culture. Yes, exactly. In India, they have a saying. They say the guest is God. Isn't that so funny? Like the way they serve people. One of my friends like married an Indian woman. He went over there and he's like, I gotta tell you, man, like the meals are endless. Like if you don't walk away, they'll just keep serving you. And he's like, it's a different world, and it's like, it's so interesting. Yeah, it's so good. So he found this saint, this guy. He's a stout man. Which is kind of also interesting in India. In India, the heavier you are, practically the same thing in Armenian culture. Exactly, dude. In India, you're seen as a very wealthy person. You're very attractive if you're heavy. If you're skinny, you're kind of seen as everyone else, the starving masses. Over here, it's the opposite. Everyone else, there's so much food here that everyone is heavy, and the opposite is those who are skinny. That's what's attractive because we're looking for the opposite. But he says a very stout man, so somebody who's kind of like hefty, who is only wearing a loincloth, is sitting in this long hallway. He's like, this is my friend. Didn't get the notification. Oh my God, Richie, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out of here if you're not going to get the goddamn notification. I was just kidding. Oh, hi, Mango Brad. Good to see you. What's up, guys? How you doing? It's good to see you. Guys, please check out each other. It's kind of hard for me to shout out and stuff on this screen, on this screen that I'm in the reading situation. But Q's amazing. Mango's great. Richie's the best. Have a lot of love for all you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please come in. Oh, thank you, Q. Appreciate you. Hacienda House 3. Whatever. Oh, Jace. What's up? Good to see you, buddy. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope you're doing well as well, man. I'm going to be reading to you guys today. Hope you're doing good. Talking about a spiritual classic, Autobiography Yogi. If you want to click the link, there should be a link in the title. We're on chapter 3. It's very spiritual. It's about an Indian monk and the stories of a saint, pretty much in India. It's very, very, very interesting. It changed my life. Boop, 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 boop. So he just found this saint that was his father's old co-worker. He's bringing him a letter, note of introduction to tell him, and he walked into his hallway. He's feeling kind of nervous. He's like this little 12-year-old boy walking into this hallway of this, this guy's house, and he's there meditating. His head and unwrinkled face were clean shaven. A beatific smile played about his lips. To dispel my thought that I had intruded, he greeted me as an old friend. Baba Anand, bliss to my dear one. His welcome was given heartily in a childlike voice. I knelt and touched his feet. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? Jesus Christ. Thanks for the look, buddy. Oh my gosh. My dogs see me having fun and like talking and interacting. Like, you mean me, right? And they just all come with their toys at the same time, and they're just like, this is like, it's like, dude, we just finished walking. Oh my gosh, sorry. I'm like, geez. Okay. His head and unwrinkled face were clean shaven. A beatific smile played about his lips. To dispel my thought that I had intruded, he greeted me as an old friend. Baba Anand, bliss to my dear one. His welcome was given heartily in a childlike voice. I knelt and touched his feet. Are you Swami Pranabananda? He nodded. Are you Bhagavati's son? His words were out before I had time to get father's letter from my pocket. In astonishment, I handed him the note of introduction, which now seemed superfluous. Of course, I will locate Kedarnath Babu for you. The saint again surprised me by his clairvoyance. He glanced at the letter and made a few affectionate references to my parent. I am enjoying 2 pensions. One is by the recommendation of your father, to whom I once worked in the railway office. The other is by the recommendation of my heavenly Father, for whom I have conscientiously finished my earthly duties in life. I found this remark very obscure. What kind of pension, sir, do you receive from the Heavenly Father? Does he drop money in your lap? He laughed. I mean a pension of fathomless peace, a reward for my many years of deep meditation. I never crave money now. My few material needs are amply provided for. Later, you will understand the significance of a second pension. Abruptly terminating our conversation, the saint became gravely motionless. A sphinx-like air enveloped him. At first his eyes sparkled, as if observing something of interest, then grew dull. I felt abashed at his poculoquy. What a beautiful word. I haven't heard this in years. He had not yet told me how I might meet father's friend. Poculoquy means like a love of little words being spoken to give a word, a poculoquy. I felt abashed at his poculoquy. He had not yet told me how I might meet father's friend. A trifle restlessly, I looked about me in the bare room, empty except for us two. My idle gaze took in his wooden sandals, lying under the platform seat. Little sir, don't get worried. The man you wish to see will be with you in half an hour. The yogi was reading my mind, a feat not too difficult at the moment. Again he fell into inscrutable silence. When my watch informed me that 30 minutes had elapsed, the Swami aroused himself. I think Kedarnath Babu is nearing the door, he said. I heard somebody coming up the stairs. An amazed incomprehension arose suddenly. My thoughts raced in confusion. How is it possible that father's friend has been summoned to this place without the help of a messenger? The Swami has spoken to no one but me since my arrival. I unceremoniously quitted the room and descended the steps. Halfway down I met a thin, fair-skinned man of medium height. He appeared to be in a hurry. Are you Kedarnath Babu? Excitement colored my voice. Yes. Are you not Bhagavati's son who has been waiting here to meet me? He smiled in friendly fashion. Sir, how do you happen to come here? I felt baffled resentment over his inexplicable presence. Harbinger of Ads has arrived. What up, Catholic? Good to see you, man. My bad, I'm reading and stuff. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much, Richie, for shouting out Catholic. Yes, Catholic's amazing, guys. Please check him out. You're good. Keep reading. Thank you, buddy. Sir, how do you happen to come here? I felt baffled resentment over his inexplicable presence. Everything is mysterious today. Less than an hour ago, I had just finished my bath in the Ganges when Swami Pranabananda approached me. I have no idea how he knew I was there at that time. Bhagavati's son is waiting for you in my apartment, he said. Will you come with me? I gladly agreed. As we proceeded hand in hand, the Swami in his wooden sandals was strangely able to outpace me, though I wore these stout walking shoes. How long will it take you to reach my place? Pranabanandaji suddenly halted to ask me this question. About half an hour. I have something else to do at present. He gave me an enigmatical glance. I must leave you behind. You can join me in my house, where Bhagavati's son and I will be awaiting you. Before I could remonstrate, he dashed swiftly past me and disappeared in the crowd. I walked here as fast as possible. This explanation only increased my bewilderment. I inquired how long he had known the Swami. We met a few times last year, but not recently. I was very glad to see him again today in the bathing ghat. I cannot believe my ears. Am I losing my mind? Did you meet him in a vision? Or did you actually see him, touch his hand, and hear the sound of his feet? I don't know what you're driving at, he flushed angrily. I'm not lying to you. Can't you understand that only through the Swami could I have known you were waiting at this place for me? Why, that man, Swami Pranabananda, has not left my sight a moment since I first came about an hour ago. I blurted out the whole story and repeated the conversations the Swami and I had had. His eyes opened wide. Are we living in this material age, or are we dreaming? I never expected to witness such a miracle in my life. I thought the Swami was just an ordinary man, and now I find he can materialize an extra body and work through it. Together we entered the saint's room. Kedarnath Babu pointed to the shoes under the platform seat. Look, those are the very sandals he was wearing at the ghat, he whispered. He was clad only in a loincloth, just as I see him now. As the visitor bowed before him, the saint turned to me with a quizzical smile. Why are you stupefied at all this? The subtle unity of the phenomenal world is not hidden from true yogis. I instantly see and converse with my disciples in distant Calcutta. They can similarly transcend at will every obstacle of gross matter. It was probably in an effort to stir spiritual ardor in my young breast that the Swami had condescended to tell me of his powers of astral radio and television. But instead of enthusiasm, I experienced only an awe-stricken fear. Inasmuch as I was destined to undertake my divine search through one particular guru, Ch.3, whom I had not yet met, I felt no inclination to accept Pranabananda as my teacher. I glanced at him doubtfully, wondering if it were he or his counterpart before me. The master sought to banish my disquietude by bestowing a soul-awakening gaze, and by some inspiring words about his guru. Oh, Lejara, what up? Ooh, story time with Hash. Yes, I'm reading a super spiritual classic. Thank you so much for being here, Lejaro. If you'd like to, the link is pinned in the chat here, and you can follow along. I'm on Chapter 3, talking about a saint with two bodies, the story of Paramahansa Yogananda growing up in India. It's like the story of a Hindu saint, written by a saint, told by a saint. Super interesting, changed my life. Inasmuch as I was destined to undertake my divine search through one particular guru, Sri Yukteswar, whom I had not yet met, I felt no inclination to accept Pranabananda as my teacher. I glanced at him doubtfully, wondering if it were he or his counterpart before me. The master sought to banish my disquietude by bestowing a soul-awakening gaze and by some inspiring words about his guru. Lahiri Mahashaya was the greatest yogi I ever knew. Lahiri Mahashaya is in the back here, this picture. I'm having to listen and chill with my mead. Lejaro's over here like a Victorian saint, a Victorian medieval, just eating his mead, enjoying stories of scripture. There's this picture of Lahiri Mahashaya in the back. That's the one who is the guru, my guru's guru. And this holy man is also telling you about Lahiri Mahashaya, who is also his guru. Lahiri Mahashaya was the greatest yogi I ever knew. He was divinity itself in the form of flesh. If a disciple, I reflected, could materialize an extra fleshly form at will, what miracles indeed could be barred to his master? I will tell you how priceless is a guru's help. I used to meditate with another disciple for 8 hours every night. We had to work at the railway office during the day. Finding difficulty in carrying on my clerical duties, I desired to devote my whole time to finding God. For 8 years I persevered, meditating half the night. I had wonderful results. Tremendous spiritual perceptions illumined my mind. But a little veil always remained between me and the infinite. Even with superhuman earnestness, I found the final irrevocable union to be denied me. One evening I paid a visit to Lahiri Mahashaya and pleaded for his divine intercession. My importunities continued during the entire night. Angelic Guru, my spiritual anguish is such that I can no longer bear my life without meeting the great beloved face to face. What can I do? You must meditate more profoundly. I am appealing to thee, O God, my master. I see thee materialized before me in a physical body. Bless me that I may perceive thee in thine infinite form. Oh, what's up, Bambi? Good to see you. Reading some spiritual classics right now. Hope you enjoy. Hope you're doing good. Proud of you, Bambi. You're doing great. Guys, check out Bambi. She's amazing. She's doing her best. She's doing her best out there. Maybe this will help. Lahiri Mahashaya, bless me that I may perceive thee in thine infinite form. Lahiri Mahashaya extended his hand in a benign gesture. You may go now and meditate. I have interceded for you with Brahma. Immeasurably uplifted, I returned to my home in meditation that night. The burning goal of my life was achieved. Now I ceaselessly enjoy the spiritual pension. Never from that day has the blissful Creator remained hidden from my eyes behind any screen of delusion. Pranabananda's face was suffused with divine light. The peace of another world entered my heart. All fear had fled. The saint made a further confidence. Some months later, I returned to Lahiri Mahashaya and tried to thank him for his bestowal of the infinite gift. Then I mentioned another matter. Divine Guru, I can no longer work in the office. Please, release me. Brahma keeps me continuously intoxicated. Apply for a pension from your company. What reason shall I give? So early in my service. Say what you feel. The next day I made my application. The doctor inquired the grounds for my premature request. At work, I find an overpowering sensation rising in my spine. It permeates my whole body, unfitting me for the performance of my duties. Without further questioning, the physician recommended me highly for a pension, which I soon received. I know the divine will of Lahiri Mahashaya worked through the doctor and the railroad officials, including your father. Automatically, they obeyed the great Guru's spiritual direction and freed me for a life of unbroken communion with the beloved. After this extraordinary revelation, Swami Pranabhananda retired into one of his long silences. As I was taking leave, touching his feet reverently,